Hi, this is Maritza from Maritza Concepcion Intuitive Consultants. I am a psychic life coach. The following is a video from my live show from an anonymous caller. Please like, share, and subscribe.
So I work in a doctor's office, and I've been working there for about a year now. And my issue is this one doctor. His initials is NH, and he's a little weird. And I feel like sometimes that maybe he doesn't care for me because he does like little weird things. And like he'll, just stare at me, or he won't say anything, or he won't acknowledge me. So I'm trying to figure out what it is, what's going on with this guy that's making him act this way towards me.
Okay. And it's R for Maryland, right? And you said
Yes.
you work in a doctor's office?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a dental? Oh, no. It's not a dental office, is it?
No, it's a neurologist.
Neurologist, okay. And you're wondering why he's looking at you in a particular way?
Yes.
In a peculiar way.
yes, exactly. Like,
Okay.
what is going on?
Okay. Is this a new job, or is this something that you were doing part-time?
No, I do it full-time, and I've been there for about a year now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And why he looks at you peculiar. And his initials were what now?
NH.
Okay, so he is old school, okay? So he's used to doing certain things a certain way, and here you come, bringing the 21st century into his office, and does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay. Here you are bringing the 21st century into his office, and he's like, this is foreign. This is, yeah, I've been doing this for so long. I don't need that. I don't need the internet to tell me what to do. I don't need that, right? So
Yes.
he goes on his little rants. It has nothing to do with you, per se. He's just trying to understand his environment in a new century, so to speak, okay? He's been doing it for, so he has his own habits, right? And we have to understand his habits in order for him to feel comfortable. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to be gentle to him, because again, he's a great doctor, but not a great, you can't, it's almost like he needs to learn something new and he doesn't want to learn it. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, you handle it, you handle it, you handle it. Like I do what I need to do, and you do whatever it is you young folks do now, right? So it has nothing to do with you. He's just trying to figure out, gosh, this new generation has come so far in technology, but they have, not to say that you don't know, this is not anything against you, but this is how his psychology is working. Like, he's like, they're a bunch of idiots. They should know you have to apply it in real true time and real true people in order for it to work. And you understand what it is. And understand when you make a mistake, you have to problem solve. The computers can't problem solve it for you. Does that make sense? And he's kind of just, and it's kind of he's not trying to look down on you or anybody else that works there. He's just so, set in his ways, and he learned how, he was in school when it was hands-on. Does that make sense? And it's like, that's how his practice is. He doesn't want to add all the new the
Technology.
Right, and everything new. He just knows that these hands and his knowledge and his heart is enough.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. It does.
And it has nothing to do with you and your job that you do, because I know he appreciates it. He just hopes that, the younger generation can come to where he is. Does that make sense? It's like, no, I don't need to come to you. You need to come to me for knowledge.
Yeah.
So That's what it is. Do you have any other questions for me, or?
Oh no, that was actually it. It was just that he just he'll come into a room sometimes and he'll speak to everybody individually but me. So I was just sitting there trying to figure out why is he? Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with you. It's you have to. When someone does that, okay, and I can give you a little bit of insight of how his psychology works. It's just like, okay, they don't mean to exclude someone, but they almost feel like, okay, that person already knows this. Does that make sense? It's almost like it's not always a negative thing that they're thinking about you per se. They just know, oh, she don't need to know this. She already knows this.
Right.
Does that make sense? It's kind of like she's smart enough. She'll figure it out. And it's almost like these things that he tells them has nothing to do with you. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, why overload her when I don't necessarily have to? She's got this. She's been doing it for a minute. She knows what she's doing. I don't need to tell her this. Does that make sense? So
yes,
don't
absolutely.
always. Yeah, a lot of people get so caught up in, well, he excluded me from the conversation. Well, get yourself in the conversation, or know when to observe his behavior and know that that's the type of person he is, and just keep it moving. As long as he's not saying, "Oh, you blah blah blah, you've done this and you shouldn't have done it this way." Does that make sense? Because he doesn't have a problem doing that, but it's almost like R has it together, so don't need to mess with her, or don't need to interfere with her computer work. Because that's how he thinks of it, computer work. When it's just as important as what he's doing, but you have to understand where he's coming from.
Yes, absolutely.
So hopefully that helped you understand his psychology just a little bit more.
Yes, it did. Because I the way you explain him, that's exactly how he is. But I always felt like I was. Like, he just didn't acknowledge me on purpose.
Yeah, no, right. I just think that, he's so caught up in an old school way, and that's not a bad thing, because he's quality. But at the end of the day, he's just trying to get used to the whole idea of the computer and the new people and everything else. So
absolutely.
Okay. So thank you so very much for calling in.
And thank you for your help. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you're interested in a private consultation, you can contact me on any social media links in the description box.